How to sing better for guys. Welcome to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where we're going to be discussing how to sing better for guys. Hi guys, Ken Tamplin from Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about the voice and voice lessons today. There's a lot of different styles and a lot of different approaches to singing, so that one subject isn't just how to sing better for all guys, because it's how to sing better in whatever style you're looking to sing. Well, there are some very basic non-negotiables to singing, and I want to point out that most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time guys want to sing harder than girls. They want to get out there and just belt and wail. Take me There's the other side of R&B or pop guys that are just looking to have some soul and some good licks and some good tone and good resonance and stamina and so forth and range, which we all want. Can I lay by your side next to you? But I want to cover both aspects fairly briefly. I'm going to discuss rock singing first, and then I'm going to break into more pop and R&B. So the very first thing is that we want to have awesome posture. We want to sit up straight or stand up straight. And by the way, when you sit, you lose up to 30% of your strength in your abdomen when singing. So I recommend you stand if you can. But anyway, so you're going to want to stand, and you're going to take a breath from your belly, from your abdomen. Instead of breathing like we do like this from our chest, we want to breathe from our abdomen, from our belly and our diaphragm. So you've heard a lot about diaphragmatic support, so I'm not going to cover that here. I have some tutorials on my website regarding diaphragmatic support, and I have an amazing course called How to Sing Better Than Anyone Else. So anyway, I want to talk about how to sing better for guys. So we're going to start first with this bright ping in an ah vowel. Ah, ah. I coined a phrase. It's called it's the la, ah. And it's that nice open throat, bright ping sound that keeps us from sort of choking on our vowel sounds or pinching and squeezing as we go up. Now there's a lot to this, but I'm just going to go through the basic elements of this first. And then if you're interested, check out my course or check out my channel, and I cover a good amount of this stuff. So we're going to start with the mean average of singers, and that would be a baritone. And so we're going to start down in like a mid-bari or upper mid-bari range, and we're just going to go through a simple triad scale like this. Now try to keep the jaw as stable as possible. Try not to move the mandible or the jaw. Keep it in a marble or static or stable position. We're going to continue up a triad scale like this. Don't forget your breath. Take your breath and use your breath. Bring in the breath, kind of like you're doing a sit-up, the feeling of how much strength is required when you're doing a sit-up. So let's continue. Take your breath, relax the shoulders, relax the arms, relax the neck. Let's continue. Nice, bright, open ah. I don't mean la or la. I mean ah. La. Do yourself a favor. Even get out a handheld mirror and look at the back of your throat and see if your throat is nice and wide open and that your tongue is placed to the base of the jaw, so it's not causing any stricture or any constriction, in the back of the throat, so that the throat can be as free as possible to create this nice bright timbre of sound. So, okay, now, for most guys, for the mean average, like me, I'm a high baritone, but I can sing well into the soprano range. There are some different registrations, and I want to talk briefly about them, and I cover this extensively in my course, and that's that there's something called the speaking register, and that's the register that I'm talking to you at right now. I'm speaking to you in a specific registration of the voice. Now, as we move up into higher notes, the chords actually vibrate quicker. So they become a little bit more tense, and they become a little bit, what's the word? There's a lot more strength in the sound, or more strength is required in the sound. So what we really need to do is have a greater relaxation response so that we don't create tension in the neck or the throat as we ascend a passage or a scale.
They say I'm going crazy. They say I got a lot of water in my brain. Oh, I got no common sense, I got nobody left with me.
So because of this fast vibration, we also need to control the actual tone or the vowel sounds themselves, and these are called vowel modifications. I'm just going to go through one of them. There are many for each vowel, but we're going to focus mainly on the ah vowel today. So we're going to go here. Did you notice how I kind of migrated a little towards ah, like loft at the top? Listen closely. What I'm doing is I'm paring down the sound or closing down the sound so the sound doesn't get so big that it splats and gets away from us or becomes too top heavy to control the sound. This is one of the key mysteries and key elements of learning how to sing better for guys. So guys, what we want to do is we want to close down that sound with good vowel modifications, strong support, and a relaxation response that allows for this. Now, we talked about the speaking register, and around the E, we start to move into the F, which is called the call register or the belting register. So if you notice, as I start to resonate louder and the chords vibrate quicker, I start to create more resonance that creates more sound, like this. Moving to the F sharp, 4. And little by little, I'm closing down the sound safely a little bit more at a time, so that again, I'm not over singing and the sound is getting away from me. Now, as you grow the voice, you can actually lean into that sound and get more, yeah! And you can belt into that sound and get kind of a dirty or distorted, raspy sort of tone. But you want to start with a clean sound first and build up into this. Now, if you're an R&B guy and you don't necessarily want to sing that heavy, we can actually create a mixed voice, or the idea that you're mixing this call or belting register with what's kind of like a reinforced falsetto that's joined or fused together. And I'll demonstrate that like this. It's a much softer intonation, a much softer sound. So I'm connecting through what's called segundo passaggio, or the second passageway, or that register break between our chest voice and our head voice. So let's continue. It's seamless between my chest voice and my head voice. Now in my course, I discuss how we connect that sound so we have a seamless connection. Now also, for you belters out there, you can take that sound, and once you grow the passaggio, you can lean into that sound or allow more volume into that sound as you build up strength in the muscles so that you can in fact belt into that sound as well. So you can continue to go up and down the scales and up and down the scales to build one long, powerful note. So whether you want to be a belter, or you want to be an R&B guy, or you want to do have a pop sort of sound, or whatever that is, you can start to incorporate these things to where you can build a one long note. With a seamless connection to where you can have full command of your entire voice, and not just your belting register or call register, but can include also your head voice register and fuse them together. So that's a basic tutorial on how to sing better for guys. Thank you for joining me, Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy. Hey guys, if you like what you heard, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to get notified when I have a new cool video come out, you need to go to my channel and click on this little bell icon, and it will actually notify you every time I have a video come out. Thanks guys.